Hi, everybody. Mike Adkins here on behalf of both Dash 28 Live and the 2024 US Masters. And I'm here to just give some folks some info about what's coming up over the next month because we have reached the end of July. And the Masters this year is going to be at the very end of August, going into the beginning of September. So we are now about a month away from the Masters. And the team of organizers and TOs are hard at work coordinating things with the folks at Nova Open to get the event ready. Everything's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Everybody's going to have a great time. If you haven't already planned on coming and have the weekend available, there's still space in Best of the Rest. You can go to the Nova Open site to register. You can find people near you who are planning on coming and figure out how you can piggyback onto whatever travel and accommodation plans they've already made to kind of slip in there at the last minute and not have to do a whole lot of planning and just show up and enjoy it. The event is about a month away. And we've got some fun stuff planned for the month leading up to the event and during the event itself for everyone who isn't planning on coming, and also for folks who are planning on coming as well. So before people start scratching their heads and wondering, what's going on, I just thought I would give everybody a little preview, a little heads up on what they can expect to see over the next few weeks. So lists for Masters are basically due like now-ish. I think maybe they have through the end of the weekend, but all the players hopefully are finalizing their lists and getting them to their regional reps. They're going to submit all their lists, and then the regional reps spend however long they need, a couple of weeks probably, going over the lists to make sure they are all valid and that everything's cool and that nobody's accidentally used the wrong version of whatever, wrong army builder, something missed, did their math wrong. They take it seriously. They take a couple weeks to do it, so they're going to get their time to do that. And when they are done, and we are certain that all the lists are legal and valid, then we're going to go into kind of the pre-show fun stuff that we've got lined up for everybody. So first thing's going to happen sometime mid-August. Again, I can't give you an exact date because I don't know exactly when the regional reps will be done, but we're going to give them a couple of weeks. But expect, sometime mid-August. Let me glance at the calendar real quick. Week of the somewhere around the 12th to maybe the 19th, somewhere around in there. Um, we are going to put up all the lists and all the first round matchups for everybody to review, peruse, speculate about. We are going to have a poll that everybody's going to have 1 week to fill out, and that's anybody in the community that wants to can look over the matchups and the lists and go in and fill out the poll to tell us who they think is most likely to win each first round matchup, and also if they want to make some predictions on who they think might win Master or Paragon or which region they think is going to win this year. We're going to accept all of that input from the community. In terms of just kind of take the temperature of the room. We might also ask you something like which of these matches are you most interested in watching, so that we have some sense, just to get a sense of like what's the interest level, who's got the buzz here, who do people think have the best chances. So that's information that we can then use to figure out when we're trying to decide like what matches to live stream on the weekend of the event. Like we have an idea of like who the community is most interested in following along with. So you're going to have a week to fill out that poll. Anybody that wants to fill it out can. Again, you will know the matchups and you will know everyone's lists. We can't tell you things like scenario or terrain yet because we don't know those things. Those things are decided at Masters right before each round. But you'll know that much, and you can go through and you can make your predictions. And then what I'm also going to have is a fantasy draft for everyone. You will be able to go through as a separate poll. These will be URLs that we'll post separately, but you'll have a poll and then you'll have a fantasy draft. If you want to do that, you go through and you can pick 8 players, a team of any 8 players who are playing in the Masters, and that'll be your fantasy team. They got to be 8 different players. You can't just like pick Adam Ballard 8 times or Corey Reynolds 8 times. If somebody picks the same player more than once, I'm just not going to count you. I'll probably just drop the duplicate and then you'll be playing with 7, so you'll probably still not do as well. But if you're playing with like 8 Adams or Corey's or like Nathan Clevengers, you might still beat everybody if you're only playing with 7 of those. It depends. Anyway, if you pick duplicate players, I'm probably just going to not count you. But you will get to pick up to 8 players to be your own kind of fantasy team that you can kind of follow along with over the course of the event. So and I'll get to how you can check that here in a second. But you can pick first round results, and you can pick eight players to be your sort of little virtual region team. Um, and yeah, during the event, then right. Or excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. So everybody can pick those things. Then about a week before the event, sometime in the week leading up to the event, we're going to have a matchup cast that will be uh, a little quicker than we're used to doing these for Masters. We're going to do all of them in one night. Um, this is a format that I am shamelessly stealing from Lone Wolf this year, because if you're going to steal, you should steal from the best. So big thanks to Mark Cox and Matt Carmack for trying a few different ways to do this, and finding something that they think works better for large scale events, right? So we're going to try this out. So the matchup cast will be a panel of folks, and we are going to go through the matches and tell you the poll results. Okay, from everybody that filled out the poll. We're not necessarily going like we'll read through the list real quick, but we're not going to spend that much time discussing the matchups unless it's particularly contentious or people seem to be really interested in one of those players. We'll mostly just say, and the polling results said, there's an 80% of the community thinks this person's going to win. I might like call on one panelist who voted like one way or the other to be like, hey, in like 2 sentences, tell me why you voted the way you did, just to get like a really quick idea. But we're not going to spend a ton of time on most of the matches. We're going to bang through them pretty quick. We're going to rely on the poll results. We're going to tell people what the community thinks and get a little bit of color from the panelists. And then we'll spend a little more time talking about matchups that people were particularly interested in, or players that seem to have a lot of buzz in the community. All right. And that's how we're going to do the matchup cast. Hopefully that'll hit a nice happy medium between given the people what they want in terms of like analysis and some idea of like who the community is interested in and how people think the matchups are going to go, without it taking a really really long time, which has been a problem in the past with the Masters matchup cast. So we're going to try to hit the sweet spot. We're going to try to hit that happy medium, give everybody a little bit of what they want, and get it all done in one night in like 2.5 3 hours. Cool. All right. Then during the event, we are, of course, going to live stream a match. We're only going to do one match every round, because I've heard feedback from people that switching back and forth between the two matches, while it's nice to get to see two at the same time, it's also really hard to follow them. And context switching between the two of them kind of like you feel like you're missing something interesting in one match when there's something not terribly interesting going on in the other match. So we're just going to focus on one high interest match every round, and we'll have multiple camera angles, and we'll have both local and remote um, commentators to help us cover it, and hopefully those will be like really interesting, really entertaining, and really engaging. We're going to do separate streams for each round instead of one really long stream. One, it gives us a chance in between rounds to like take everything down, restart everything if we need to, put it all back up. It also makes it easier to watch kind of after the fact, because you don't have to search through a really long stream to find the one match you're looking for on during a day. You can just go straight to the round. Excuse me. Yeah, and those are all going to be on the Dash 28 YouTube channel. Also, over the course of the weekend, we're going to have the URLs up for everyone, so you can check the scores live as they come in, the same way that the players can. Okay, that's all going to be available online, checkable by anyone. Like, so as the results come in, everybody's going to be able to follow along with them over the course of the whole weekend. You're also going to be able to, after the first round, go check how your prediction results turned out. If you answer the poll, you can go look and see how many of them you got right. We're going to have that summed up for you, so you don't have to like try to remember what you picked. Oh yeah, pro tip: when you fill out the survey, when you fill out the poll and pick your fantasy team, you can have it email the results to you, so you can remember what you picked. You can just go and look, and we're going to have the results summed up for you, so you can see how many you got right. And if you want to dig in and see which ones you got right or wrong, then you can. But if you just want at an eyeball to see like how many of the 32 matches did you get right, you can just go check. And then same thing for your fantasy draft. You can just go check and see what the total points, the total battle points of all 8 members of your team sum up to, and where you stand in the rankings against other people that picked fantasy teams. At the end of the event, I might have a little something for whoever gets the most right on the polls, and whoever's fantasy teams have the highest scores. I might I might get in touch with people and send them like a Dash 28 mug, or let them pick a T-shirt off the Dash 28 site or something like that. Just a little incentive to get people to join in. So yeah, so you can watch the event live as they go. We'll of course stream the awards at the end as well. You can check the scores over the course of the weekend, and you can check your own results for your own fantasy team, and your poll results for the first round as well. Um, Now, after the event is over, the videos are going to stay up. They're going to be on Dash 28's YouTube channel. So if you are busy that weekend or you miss around, you can always go back and see them. And the scores will remain up as well. Um, so you can just follow the URLs to go look them up after the fact if you want to dig into the numbers a little bit more or whatever. So where to look for info going forward. So I've talked about a whole bunch of stuff. Um, Surely no one is going to remember all of this stuff. You're going to want pointers and you're going to want refreshers and you're going to want to be able to find URLs. So the master's site will have, hopefully, I think, if I in case I forget to post something, we'll have everything that you need to know. That's kingsofwarmasters.com. I invite you to go check that site out if you've never looked at it before. That's kingsofwarmasters.com. It will have all of the current and past rankings for Masters players. We will have links to the scores and the polls and the videos and everything there. Also, if you're a TO and you run a qualifying event and you haven't submitted your event for next year, we have an event calendar on the site. I would really appreciate it if everybody would go to the event section and submit a little blurb about their event, so we have a nice full event calendar for everyone to check out there. In addition to the Masters site, a lot of this information will probably also be posted to Dash 28, so you can go to dash28.org and check that out. And then those things will also get filtered through to Facebook. The Masters page on Facebook, the Dash 28 page on Facebook will probably repost things to Fanatics. No one should really have to look very far to find what they're looking for, right? It should be pretty easy. And again, the videos will all be up on the Dash 28 YouTube channel. So if you've forgotten everything else and you know it's Masters weekend, you can just go to YouTube and search for Dash 28 and go to the channel and find whatever's currently live streaming. And that's it. So that's kind of a heads up on what to expect over the next month and on the weekend for folks who aren't going to be at the event, but want to kind of stay in touch, keep track of what's going on, find some fun ways to participate with you and any of your other friends that aren't going to be able to make it. Again, there is still space for Best of the Rest, so if you are interested in coming, go check out the Nova Open site to register for that. For everyone who's planning on coming, make sure to get your lists in because they're almost due, and travel safely. We will see everybody in a few weeks when we put out the poll and then do the matchup cast. So between now and then, just start getting excited, folks, because it's Masters month. It's almost here. It'll be on us really, really soon, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm super excited. So, thanks for watching, and we'll have more info for you later. Take care.